general and all funds based off of what we've talked about, with one exception. There was an email sent to the district judge complaining about lowering the supplement for the judge-elect at mid-year. Now supposedly there's a whole lot of AG opinions out there, which I couldn't find one. I couldn't even get an AG opinion or a local government code section from TAC, but I did get an answer from TAC after 3 phone calls that lowering for the judge-elect is not permissible. So what we did was just said, okay, district judge supplement is at whatever it's currently at.
That makes me what I was gonna bring up. So, that's what we talked about Wednesday.
Joel, do you still have that paper I gave you? I do.
12,000.
12,000 something, yeah.
Yeah, and they had like a $2,000 difference.
Yeah.
With wages and
We talked about it
everything.
Wednesday, just thinking that we never had any other elected official come in lower than the others.
Yes, we're leaving it, we're gonna leave it the same as Judge Ellis'
So
current
I was gonna bring it up today, but it's down like 35. So the only exception now is
Talking about supplement, not
The
salary.
supplement, yes, sir. Brown County supplement.
which that means we still gotta fix the one thing. 10,
Yes, Tiana's request from today is not in there, but we can fix that on the final. You know, for $2,000, we weren't gonna rerun all this, it already needs to be on there, so.
My question is, a supplement is not salary. It's not even part of salary. It's in addition to salary. So why can we not say, why can we not do what we wanted to do?
My understanding is that the budget is for position, not person, and that you budget the position and you cannot decrease that at the end. And like I said, I got no local government code, I got no AG opinion, I got from Denise, what was her name? Something, it's on the napkin in the
Yeah,
office,
like, yeah.
that, we cannot do what we propose to do. I would love to have some kind of local government code.
I can understand salary,
Yeah.
because that is,
And when I asked my question was the supplement, if the supplement can't. And, that was what they came back with.
They may consider that salary, even though most people wouldn't.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. They're looking at it as a salary.
I'm more comfortable leaving it the same now, just with the Judge
Well,
Ellis,
we talked about it Wednesday, and I thought that was probably, I was talking about it Wednesday.
especially for
The day
$2,000.
before we met with the judge, I thought that's why you
She
wanted to talk
was in my
about
office Wednesday,
it. I came in her office and talked to her about it, and I talked to Shaw about it.
so.
Because I thought that might be what the judge wanted to talk last Wednesday, I'm sorry, yes. And did you get the signed bills?
No, I didn't.
Make sure they didn't get
I can't remember if I signed it, I don't think I did.
I started them around, we signed them.
I signed them.
Maybe I signed it.
I signed them. If you can't sign, you don't remember signing, I don't see.
No, Diana Cecil, our HR representative from TAP.
Like he had them, yeah.
I got him.
I'll give you my copy of it.
Guys,
Yes.
Gary wants your attention.
The HR representative for our area and our county is Diana Cecil. She is the one I spoke with who, I called and left a message for her. She called me back. I explained what my problem was. Okay, let me research this. She calls me back. She asked what my question, she asked, is it changing? Is it going down with the new judge-elect? Is that the difference? Or are they making the same across the board? And I said, no, it's the current judge is going to keep his supplement and then the judge-elect will go down. Okay, let me get back to you. And so third phone call back, she came back and said, no, we can't do that because of it going down with the new judge-elect. It would have to be straight across the board, the lower amount straight across the board. Again, no legal code, no AG opinions. I spent almost 2 full hours straight researching AG opinions. Apparently, I'm horrible at it because I didn't find any. But that's what TAC said. This woman So that's what I'm going by.
That's what you said a while ago. I already had that.
I'm reiterating, because I have her name now, okay?
I think we should have, look, we talked about even like, even early last Wednesday, we probably should not have done anything.
Here's the deal though, the district judge's salary is going down January 1.
State side,
State
It's the
service.
state salary.
state salary.
They started starting judging or new. But
That's
we,
contradicting.
Yeah, I understand. I mean.
It doesn't matter, I mean,
We were talking a few $1,000s, if I recall.
that's dead.
Yeah.
She, 2,000 or something for the year, but, so it's not like it's a major deal, but it's,
Ain't no use of closing the barn door like they had.
but he will, that'll put him maxed out as a supplement, that he can't ever get any more supplement from Brown County.
till they change the law.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, until they change.
that was the max we could give him based on the salary rate he could make, so I don't know.
So
We
he-
can't-
So he
That's
got
what I'm
me.
saying though, is
But that's,
until he gets raised up above that for the state, he won't get any more supplement.
I got to do the calculation, so.
It's interesting, isn't it? And a lot of-
And that's fine.
All right, so what's next?
Did you correct it in here?
It is corrected in here, the only, and like I said, as far as the final budget, we'll have Tiana's, assistant in there corrected as well. So what we need to talk about now is back to the radio stuff. I have, and gave you guys an email, whatever I did with this. And I don't know if it's, we're getting tax notes or certificates of obligation or whatever. I don't know if it's really gonna matter, but find my email. It's an email from Kenneth Klaus. He said that he was watching the budget workshop and noticed that the sheriff stated the second company was proposing building several $1 million towers. I am VP of this second company, and this is not true. We were told by the city which towers to use. He wants a review of the whole proposal. He says, our proposal does not include having to replace all of the radios, and there's no ongoing monthly subscription fees per year. The LCRA proposed a system that will lock the county into subscription-based fees for the long term. We can do the same, but without per-user fees.
They
So,
can do a 700, that'll hurt the thing.
I don't know what his proposal was. Vance came to us with the one he thought was best. But obviously, it's still a hot button issue, so I wanted y'all to be aware of the email that I received.
There's won't be dual bands, I understand y'all say that.
No, yeah, and they don't provide ongoing maintenance like LCRA will either.
We need dual band, them guys, they won't stand for nothing else. Right, Joe?
Well,
This,
according to them, I mean, Yes and
One incident in the sheriff, dispatcher's mic, kid, the mic talking, or somebody couldn't call emergency in it. It ain't on.
we'll see what.
We don't have this total, whatever we're gonna have to pay for the radios in this year's budget, in the budget we're talking about.
We know that.
So we're talking, right now, the only thing we have on the agenda is 2021 budget.
But it
I think
does include that 707,000
for the
fees.
sheriff's
Even
office,
though it's not all of it.
77,000.
Thank you, 77.
$77,000.
I have my decimal in the wrong
for
place, so
fees.
sorry.
Yes, 77,000 for fees. So we'll talk about that one. But we actually cannot talk about
I don't know, that,
radios.
we can't talk about radio?
well, with
Not
regard,
in this watch.
Let me ask the county attorney his opinion on that.
Well, I mean, I think you can talk about it, particularly since you budgeted $77,000 for
Okay.
the maintenance of them.
And
That kind of opens the door for talking about them.
We
Yeah,
have
and-
budgeted 77,000.
And so when you say it's not
For the
included in this
fees.
budget, the actual radios, it's because you're doing a tax note for them. So it's not in the budget.
Jennifer,
So it'll be under that service next year.
the $77,000 fees that was based on before what we decided on before, so that's gonna go up considerably when you add those additional.
No, it took, that was all of the radios. It was 128 portables and 46 mobiles.
That 77.
That's 77,000.
That number came before
We
the
reduced it
number
to
of radios
44.
from.
Reduced.
Right.
And we left the 77 in there just to cover.
But let me point out on these different proposals, I think these other companies were not proposing the 700 millihertz system, if I recall. But since the city of Brownwood said they're going there, which that kind of forces our hand in a way, everything has Early's going there. They're kind of basically,
What they did is they rejected the proposals and
They're
decided
going
to.
to.
they're going to the other, they're rejecting all these proposals, so they're going to a whole different style system than what they originally wrote the RFPs for.
We don't need to have.
It leaves us hanging out there. Kind of like almost hostages going to that deal.
Well, we're this far in, I'd rather stay with LCRA.
Well, they say they're a nonprofit, but I still have never actually seen a total breakdown between the two operations.
What they do for profit is water, and electricity, and this right here is just, break even deal, you know. And they get discounts for it, you know.
So what else you need now?
I think that's it. Just expect for, okay, so September 21st is what we're looking at to finalize everything, which is the last day we can finalize everything. So I have a list somewhere for the agenda for that day to where we'll vote the tax rate, vote the tax rate, do the meeting, not hearing, meeting on the budget, vote on the budget, also the salaries at that time. The salaries at that time, you've got to vote to approve those salaries. So
The elected officials.
the elected official salaries, yes, sir.
The notices have been sent out.
The notices were sent out on August 14th.
Yeah.
Published in the paper last week on Sunday.
Something we, whatever we got that last year, this year we got it all.
So unless,
Any questions for Jennifer? Now's the time. Are we having another workshop between now and then?
not unless y'all want to see the proposed budget with the changes,
We're just talking
$2,000.
difference. So
I'm probably good trusting with $2,000 change.
I think you're trustworthy.
Thank you. Not all do. But,
Honestly, I'm sure if something comes up, they'll be notified and we'll have you.
that's all I had was to provide y'all with the proposed budget. Sharon's got it, it'll be on the website today.
Do we know the interest they're gonna charge on the tax note or any number, any ideas on any of that stuff?
I've got a proposed timeline from them which won't fit Sheriff's Hill timeline.
What?
So we're looking at maybe certificate of obligation, maybe we'll talk to Texas Bank, Company, who is our depository.
Wayne and I had a question during the break. What would be can you tell us, it's email, it doesn't matter, what the difference would be between the payments now monthly or yearly versus what it will be if we add in the additional radios to everyone? I'm just wondering how big of an effect on our payments it's going to be.
If we up the tax, we have to cover.
Right, to cover the 674,000 they're talking. Because I don't want it to cut into the tree maintenance that we put in there, we were planning for.
I'll have to get with Eric and Kathy and rerun the figures with the new amount, which we were at 4 million is what we asked. So we would need to rerun it at,
674,000 more.
so,
475. 674 more.
674 more.
I know you did.
Well, no, it wouldn't be 674 more, it would be the difference between what it was and
4.5 then?
to 674.
What about the elevator? Because the elevator looks like it's gonna have to be replaced this coming year too.
They're saying 90,000 to replace it.
So 5 million tax note,
Whoa. What about the elevator?
they're saying that it needs to be fully replaced.
It's got something
Can't order the parts anymore,
Yeah.
can't
It's becoming an obsolete.
repair it anymore.
Have we had more than one opinion on this?
There's only one
Dyson,
person,
they're the only ones.
so come out and work on it, so one company,
They're
we've tried.
He's rounded off to 6 million.
So,
no,
so,
Shane,
so,
five
eight
recovery.
so, $9 million.
You
Here,
said
there's talk about the air
674, is that the
conditioner,
total
too.
price?
That's the radios.
Okay, so it would really be 674.
No, it's not any longer.
Minus what we
We already
already
had
had.
budget,
It's
400,
already out of order.
325 is
So
that.
it's just an additional 3 million.
Oh,
Not,
okay.
not an additional 675.
Right, because we already have, what, 325 budgeted.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be the difference to 674.
So we made
4.5
that
then?
That's probably not gonna make much per month or per year.
probably not.
Yeah, but it
We
all
still
adds
want to see about, mostly due to the timing, one of the, police, no, shoot, what are they called, fire chiefs sat in here and said they were looking at 9-month implementation for the radios. Sheriff Hill told me implemented and operating by the end of the year. So depending on that timeline,
Chief Hicks is the city's expert on it. He said 9 months, that's what I would go with.
okay,
Because that's
Well,
when,
that
that's
would
when he's
work better.
expecting dispatch to be online.
okay, well, that would work better with the timeline with Southwest Securities, but we may still check out certificates of obligation just to see what we can do.
You said something, I want to read.
Obviously, I'm not one of the commissioners, but I mean, I still feel a little bit uncomfortable with not doing it. But there just seems to be like, it's just kind of one day, one story, one day, another story. Is there one company can do it? Is there 2 companies that can do it? Can somebody do it cheaper? You know what I'm saying? It just seems like there's just a lot of unknown. And that's a huge investment.
Well, we're kind of stuck because the city has chosen not to accept proposals. They're going to reject those and they're going to go with LCRA. That kind of locks us in. We don't really have much choice. We're interoperability. We'll have to go with them too. So then you don't have to put that out for bid because they're already on the, what is it?
By board.
Well, they're a quasi-government, state government already.
Yeah, there's another
Or
government.
everything.
So we're kind of locked into that. The bottom, what it comes down to is what it's going to cost us per radio, how many vehicles, how many portables. That's the final number. And that's what keeps fluctuating. I hear 5,500, I hear 4,800, I hear, I don't know that's what today I tried to nail them down. I said, all right, which one, what's the cost?
Well, the sheriff needs to come back, I guess, with the, or whoever's actually dealing directly with that budget, and come back to us again with.
I'd love to see a written quote from them as far as price per unit.
They said they're gonna give them 100,000 to they can take out of the volunteer fire department somewhere.
Well, and
Well, that brought it down from 774 to 674.
So, but, you were not talking.
well, and that's what, the very first time the sheriff mentioned that, and that's what I said. I mean, it just seems to me like we need to have a one-time, everybody here, exactly what are we doing? What are we getting? What are we paying for? Who's doing what? Who's all with it? We still haven't heard any of that. I mean, it's just been kind of pieces.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of piecemeal and
And we still don't know, who's responsible if they break, who's responsible if more are needed. I feel like we're kind of
I think
in
every,
the position of getting our hands tied.
yeah, and I don't think the issue is the need.
No, we know they're
I mean,
needed, we just gotta,
I think we're already past that and everybody agrees that there's a need. It's just how do we fulfill that need? And what's the most efficient, cost-effective, dependable way of fulfilling that need? And, I mean, it's just, one day Vance is here and then one day Chief Hicks is here and then, then we've got the fire chief and Early is here and we need everybody here at the same time, so we're all on the same page, and we know exactly what we're getting into, and we know, okay, when it breaks, who's gonna fix it, and
Well, that's what I brought up earlier. We got a 3-year warranty on them, but after that, who's gonna repair it? Because those things get battered around.
I don't think until you have Chief Adams, is that your official title?
Yeah.
Well, I had something else in mind, but I'm not gonna.
I'm not sure why you're in on the discussion to start with anyway. I
And really, I just got the word that you guys passed on this or something, or said that it wasn't in this year's budget.
Well, that's
When
what
they
I
just saw a
know, you don't-
video and called me and said that they said that that's not in
It's,
this
it's
year's.
not gonna be
budget.
funded out of our fiscal budget, it's gonna be funded.
We all know that, yeah.
Somebody misunderstood, we're gonna,
Good. That's
We're talking about-
here.
Chief Hicks said a 9-month implementation, we just got a certificate of obligation or
Or a tax
a
note.
tax note. is how-
Is it-
and
so
that
that's
is-
what y'all are discussing
that-
around
Yeah, but
here?
that's not in our fiscal
Yeah.
budget this year, that's separate.
Absolutely, I'm good with that.
Just because our note payments will start next year.
Yeah,
The next
Okay.
fiscal year.
But you already said, y'all said that was your last word when you left a while ago.
yeah. Well, we did have everybody together here a while ago. You know, the questions could have been asked about anything you wanted to ask about. I'm sorry I came in here just a little stirred up on this part because it's just, guys, we've done everything that we can do to find out everything we can about it. It's new to us, and I'm not a radio guy. I'm probably not the one that should have come back. None of the rest of them can. I'm not a radio guy, but we had people here that were. And I'm just telling you that I do know when I get a radio in my hand, I need to talk to people.
Absolutely.
And,
Well-
and if it's an accident and the
That's not really what we're talking about, though. We're talking about companies that's
yeah,
giving us prices.
That's-
It ain't nothing to do with what you're talking about.
all right. Carry on.
We agree the needs there and all, and it's just,
We got a letter here,
Carry
that
on,
says-
man.
Yeah,
I'm
we have
sorry.
your blessings on
Man.
this.
we got a letter here that says that
Steve,
somebody misquoted on tower prices and stuff and things like that that we hadn't even seen here.
Yeah, there's some things that we didn't mention this morning, like, we have taken like 11 mobiles out of that request. There's 46 here in that number, and there's 51 trucks or 57 trucks. There's 11 mobiles out of there. We've taken away all the extra batteries that we had in there. There's some things that we did trying to make this number less. And if you don't do the full package, the Schedule A, just making sure y'all know this stuff, that $100,000 is out the door, out the window, that they're offering to give as a discount if that many radios are not buying, and that's a county combined with the city and the county. And if the fire department radios are not in there at that number will be taken out also.
one of our biggest concerns was even the LCRA guy couldn't, you heard me ask him for figures. and
I was
couldn't give me
surprised
that.
at that, and the guy's very knowledgeable, we've had him at our stuff before. And as I understand it, after the third year, it's ours. It's gonna be the volunteer fire departments. If we've got a radio, we're not gonna expect y'all to
Repair it.
keep the radios for 10 years. There's no telling what those expenses will be. We're not expecting that, we don't want that. Take that out of the equation. It's gonna be a 3-year issue there, and then if a radio gets burnt, there's a replacement portion for that. If a radio burns up, gets ran over, dropped in the lake, if Lake Patrol has them or whatever,
It'd probably be a good idea to insure those things.
it'd be a great insurance.
They talked about the
idea.
insurance, so we talked about that, they sell that extra.
Yeah,
And warranty,
Not
so
gonna be
usually
y'all's
it's cheaper.
cost for any of
Those
that stuff.
guys, it's usually costs you more to have that than it's kind of like some of your automotive.
Yeah.
So that was discussed, but they also talked a lot earlier, in the earlier meeting, they talked a lot about grant, you get grants. Well, that's great, except we're got to fund this somehow, we don't know if we're gonna get a grant.
Well,
or not.
I've got Bob looking, he's been looking
Yeah.
for a week,
I don't
so
know whether
far
there's
he
grants
hasn't,
available or
he
not.
hasn't found any radio or equipment grants, so it's they were everywhere after 9/11, but now they've all pretty much shrinked away.
So have the radio, just a question, the radio's been approved through the sheriff department, what they've requested?
We're
From
not
you
sure.
guys?
No, we haven't approved any of it yet.
We haven't finalized
I mean,
it.
it's gonna have to be an item on the agenda, it's
It's in
not on the
the
agenda.
budget for radios for sheriff's department.
That is in the budget, in this
Are
year's
you
budget.
sure?
The annual
That's,
fee.
that's for dispatch, isn't it?
The annual maintenance agreement is, but not.
Not the purchase of any of the equipment is not in there.
We haven't finalized anything.
All right,
That $77,000 is not to purchase any equipment.
No, it's
No.
just.
But then there's $33,000 a year just to keep paying y'all for your individual radios. We gotta have to pay for a subscription.
the maintenance agreement on that,
Yeah.
yes.
But see, the thing about it is, we're gonna get the system, they're gonna maintain it, whether we have 10 radios or 100 radios, you don't get a discount. I mean, so they're just gonna keep charging your radio put out there. So there's not gonna be a cap on that. Hey, if you met your obligation here,
Yeah, I think you guys can put a limit on that yourselves. Say whatever we buy this year, that's all we're doing. I was gonna bring that up at the meeting, but I wasn't in the spot to do that. But I think that's absolutely gonna be up to y'all to, if you want to do the radios you're buying now and doing that maintenance project for that, any extra radios that are bought next year, the next year, that's gonna be up to the fire department to
Do you
pay for the
think
maintenance
the
on.
fire department set their figures, some of them reduced, the majority of them reduced? But, do you think everybody reduced to the limit?
The number of radios.
Have they asked for what they need?
Yeah,
Is that the question?
yeah.
Now, we're gonna have to get some more radios besides what y'all are getting. We've got probably Winchell, small department down there, but we're pretty active and got a lot of people involved. We've probably got 30 portable radios out there that everybody's got. I've got two. I've got one at the house set to just go off at pager. They just go off at night. That's the reason I've used that one. And I've got one to carry around that's in the pickup right now to respond from Brownwood or any call that we got. I think Chad had a list there of all of the radios.
What they needed, and they had the number of volunteers they had, and they
You wanna come up there?
need to walk,
Is there-
you know, do you think they reduced as much as they possibly can?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I absolutely do.
That's enough answer.
That's been kicked around. I don't know how many meetings we've had.
And it's
We've had several. And,
You know, the majority of them reduced less than another, but some didn't, which
yes,
I'm
sir.
sure they had their reasons, so.
I'd love to have 16, 18, 20 portable radios. We asked for 12. We've got 12 people we can hand those to that will all respond. We've got a volunteer firefighter in Zephyr that comes to every one of our events, every one of our calls. He may not get there in time, there's other stuff we do, but he's on the way, coming from Zephyr because he wants to move down there and get closer to our department. He's got a radio of ours. These are stuff that we've bought. Some, you asked earlier about where do we get the radios. And I was on that board for a long time over in Council of Governments. The Homeland Security gave us grants for a bunch of radios as we started out, some mobiles, and we spread them out throughout the county. There's still some of those radios out there. Some of them are 15 years old, still work okay. But I think that what I was hoping that would be done, it just seems like we keep getting hung up on the dollar amount. I know that's what y'all do.
What you did when you was up here?
That's what I did when I was up here.
Seriously.
Well, and then, you know, I remember when I was up here and we had $27,000 in surplus funds. When I was elected in 1992, that is all that we had. Now then, and I didn't want to bring that up this morning in court. I presume this may be a recorded meeting, but it's not something the media's here at right now, I don't think, right?
You'll be watching.
Okay. You've got money in surplus, and I don't know how much you've got, and I don't want to bring that number up, because I know that that's numbers you've worked on to get there. Rainy day funds, surplus funds, whatever you want to call it, and it's good to have that money there for 6 months down the road. So I understand there's over $10 million in there, and I don't know what your county budget is, but I know that it's well over being able to go 6 months. And that's tax money that's already been paid. And we're talking about, you've already kind of said you was gonna give us in the neighborhood of $380,000 for the 4 radios and the mobiles. And we're $300,000 from that, just over $250,000. Money can be taken from there. I'm just really, after doing the options and doing what we've done and doing the work that we've done as fire departments out there, I think the general public will approve what you do here for us guys out there doing what we're doing. And if any questions on what happens to those maintenance contracts of anything after what you buy around here, they're on us. Everything else is on that. You buy the maintenance contract on these radios that are here, I'll battle that battle with the fire departments. They'd love for y'all to take on that too. We'd love for you to buy some 160 portable dual band radios. We'd love to have all 57 mobile radios. These numbers, I get skewed on them sometimes because we've gone through a bunch of them. But there's 57 trucks out there and we've ordered 46. I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. We'll get it done. But the single man mobiles that are gonna be out there, they're gonna be able to talk to the Brownwood people and our other fire departments here in this county. That's it. Sometimes that's enough. If we're working something in Brown County, we're great with that. But if lifeguard or just want to make sure y'all know that, because that's what is the kicker to me, is we can't talk in McCullough County with a single band radio. we can't talk to Coleman County, we can't talk, we went through over that, and I'll get up and go sit back here again.
Well, you said Plan A includes dual bands, right?
Yes, sir, on the portables,
Dual band on the handheld.
on all the handles.
Okay, and that was the number that was Plan A.
All in is 674 minus the 3 something we already had budgeted.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And it was 774, but LCRA.
Right.
I mean, what we came back to you guys with, when y'all cut it down to 2, we had the meeting and we were just trying to cut it down. And but it's dual band that's what's costing the money here. You know?
Just so you know, this is what we were talking about before you came in. Plan A.
Okay.
We were talking about Plan A.
Just gotta pay for it.
I forgot how we're gonna, if we did, how we're gonna pay for it. So the fact that it's not part of our.
We're there, we want to get
It's not
to
part of
it.
our regular budget or approved for the year. That's kind of out beyond discussion for the tax.
I came in because I got a phone call saying Commissioner Ward, he said, you know, it's not even in this year's budget. And they said, we're dead in the water. And I said, I don't think so, but I'm pretty close to the courthouse, so we'll go back out there.
You better get
I
back out there.
apologize for
He's
that.
arguing for saying we can't talk about it this year because.
The radio stations called me, want me to get on the air in the morning with their group. And we're not wanting this to be contentious at all. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't know when y'all are gonna decide on this, but if this is decided today to go with option A here, which is absolutely what I recommend. If you went with option A, guys, we're set, and we can carry on, and we'll continue to fund our needs from that point on.
Yeah, he's got.
We'll continue to fund.
Do I need to clarify that? I mean, what I said?
No, we already, do you have
I mean,
a,
it isn't in our budget, and it won't be in our
I
budget.
understand.
It's
And
gonna be
and really, neither will the
either
sheriff
a,
department. Ready.
No,
Yeah, it's gonna be,
No,
it's either gonna be tax notes,
Certificate of.
or do you use?
right,
we're trying to figure that out right now.
Right, what the general public needs to understand is those are 2 separate funding options.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I do
Tell
understand.
them, you get on the radio, make it clear to the public. We're
And I probably will get on the radio, because they've asked me to come down there, and I'll probably do that. I guess what I'm asking y'all is, will that decision be made today on
yes.
the budget on the radios?
Essentially.
for this?
Well, Sheriff Hill needs to come back, and he told me he didn't have his batteries or something in one of his proposals, and I haven't seen that either.
And we haven't factored in spares, you know, I mean, just your recommendation, 5? With 5 spares, to- when somebody's radio goes down, that the emergency management can loan them? How many spares should we have?
Yeah, spare radios, everyone's a bonus, man. That's up to y'all. I don't know.
Well, I was asking your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 5 would be good. 5 is a good number. 4 may be a good number.
The sheriff department told me he forgot to figure in his extra batteries the other day. We still don't have all the numbers. I mean, you can say what you want.
Yeah, to answer your question, it'll be decided, the certificates of obligation or treasury or tax notes, whatever, it'll be decided soon, but not now, not today.
All right. We don't need any extra batteries. We're good with that number right there. I mean, we came in here today with a bottom line number, hoping that
Well,
would.
we're all, I believe we're all in for you.
All right.
So we just gotta get the numbers crunched and get it.
I love what y'all do. I've said up there before. It's not,
You
it's
still
not
gonna
a
have to
fun
maintain
time.
it. We'll still get dispatched off the other, and they said there are no pages that work on 700. I mean, we still get dispatched off the VHF, so we are. And also, after this, we'll be responsible for maintaining the VHS system.
Yeah, and I don't know how long they're gonna need that. I mean, Lifeguard does their own stuff. Everybody does their own stuff. I'm not sure who's gonna need VHF,
Well, man, you get.
other than us talking to the other counties out there, and sheriff department too. They're gonna have to be talking to other counties. But all of our surrounding counties, none of them have that.
That still leaves you though, your second option in case that 700 system goes down. I mean, so it's good to have that VHS.
Well, we're not gonna take them out. We're gonna leave them in there. Yeah.
And do
And we're getting new mobile, a single band radios to talk to everybody here in Brown County. And we're gonna have our old radios in their trucks. Now I'm talking mobiles, the mobile radios, those that are mounted in there, some of those are 100-watt radios. Where we can talk to all the surrounding counties. But the dual band portables are gonna allow us to do that. All the other counties, Lifeguard, Area Back, anybody that we need to talk to, we'll be able to talk to them on dual band. We talk to anybody on dual band. All of the Texas Fire ones, all of those, Med ones and Law ones, 2, 3, we talk to all of them.
You land your helicopter on VHF and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, chief.
Appreciate it, guys. Sorry, I started in here. I was just giving some bad information.
Well, and I've been trying to.
Well, it's a misunderstanding, not
I've been
necessarily
trying to
bad,
push
just
for towers and
misunderstanding.
stuff for a long time, and how they brought it back to us is a surprise to me at 700, because I thought we'd always been improving VHF. So
Evidently, the numbers there, we're talking 6 million, 7 million, or 7 million numbers,
So it's all this
and now we're getting all new.
balloon, but I've been on board trying to get some, I know our area is one of the areas that's bad, I know your area, when there's no reception, I've been on a lot of fires over the hills where we couldn't talk to, I mean, I've been there, I've done that, I'm perfectly getting there.
Yeah, I'm on.
It's just now, sitting here it is, we're trying to figure out what to do.
I'm gonna sit back here.
Where is that tower out there, South Park?
I'm not even sure. See, I'm not that guy either. I'm not the tower guy. There's one that's in Savage County.
Okay, they keep LCRA keeps talking about this tower that's gonna cover the Brooks Southwest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know whether it's already one that's up and they're gonna put something on it. I think they build their own towers.
They've got a tower already in South, they're gonna
Yeah,
use a
they
tower,
keep
they've
talking
already owned
about
it.
it, but nobody knows where it is.
Jennifer, do you have
He
anything
did
else?
tell me it's in here.
No,
Give that to Shane, I think it's in there.
This guy, he knows every back road and.
Oh, I do know all the back roads. I do know that. I've had to run before.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why.
Thank you all for what you do. Sorry to keep in here like that. And I'll tell them to settle down.
It's almost feel like y'all think they're
Easy
wrong.
now, fella.
They think Dr. Volunteer Fire Department think we're against them in here, I don't understand that, we're trying to figure out a way to enhance it.
Tell them to settle down.
What you got, Jennifer?
They're scared. They're wanting that option A and they're going, that's just the only thing that we can actually be safe and go at.
All right,
Not only a closing call,
Thank you.
we need to be
Oh,
sure
this
that
is
we have
Richland
our
Springs.
local,
This is
our
the third
interlocal
side.
agreements about settling on who's paying for what as far as maintenance.
This map is saying it's actually.
okay, I'll send them an
Richard
Emily
Springs,
email.
in Savage County.
Okay, just, you know, stuff
Inwards.
like that, the
I
stuff
knew they were
that
talking
trails
about one
on
being-
afterwards, you know,
That's a
that
good,
should all
that's a
be
good
in
point.
place prior to,
That's a good point.
um,
We need it writing instead of a handshake deal as well.
Yes.
so, yeah.
everything.
Anybody have anything else? No? Going once, twice? All right, we are adjourned.
One on the agenda Monday.
Deanna, do you want to do this? Do you want to do the agenda for this week or you